SCP-1471, Mallow. The top Google question asked is Mallow a furry? I'm not a furry, so no, I'm not gonna have sex with the skeletal humanoid raccoon app. Pass.
No!
SCP-173. Despite Peanut's obvious thickness, this thing is made of concrete and rebar. Not the best materials for a real doll. You ever skin your knee on the pavement? Imagine that, but completely encompassing your genitals. Pass. SCP-096. You can't even look at this thing's face or it freaks out and does everything in its power to murder you. I don't need somebody to be the most confident person on the planet, but how the hell are you supposed to hold a conversation when the only thing it wants to talk about is Pass. SCP-1903. This weird mask lady is the internet horror equivalent of a Playboy bunny. It even comes with added mercury poisoning. Smash. SCP-001. When Day Breaks. Are you asking me if I want to f the sun? Or the giant blob amalgamation that wants to assimilate all life into its mass? It doesn't matter, because both of these things involve becoming a part of something grander than yourself, and that's pretty corny. Pass. SCP-049. Okay, so this one is completely covered in a latex-like material, so that's a plus. Although, no one knows what goes on with that body under that cloak, and I don't really have a thing for being Frankenstein and lobotomied. Pass. SCP-682. The hard-to-destroy reptile? I'm sorry, this thing has obviously never seen my penis. Won't be hard to destroy when I'm done with it. Smash for the good of all life. SCP-035. Now this thing's holes are constantly weeping some sort of slippery black fluid. And whether it's a smile or a frown, this evil mask always has an open mouth. Smash. This thing thinks it's so evil, I'm about to skull fuck that grin right off its face. SCP-303. That mouth though. Although, when the door is open, this thing just kind of disappears if I remember correctly, so we'd always just be gazing longingly through the windows. Long-distance relationships typically have not gone well for me. Pass. It seems like a nice entity and we'd both just get hurt. SCP-5909. A giant crustacean that is light years away from Earth and also 2.1 light years in size. Don't get me wrong, no shade to those bearing the thickness, but there's no way that this one just doesn't end up like a hot dog on a multiple light year wide highway. SCP-3008, the Infinite IKEA. Now last time I did something like this in an IKEA, I was forcibly removed from the kitchen section after making the meatballs a little extra Swedish, if you know what I mean. But since this one is literally infinite, there's no way they can kick me out for health code violations. Smash. SCP-953. Sociopathic Fox Girl. Okay, I know I just said I'm not a furry, but like, she's really hot, so smash, but I'm still not a furry. Don't call me one in the comments or I'll scream. SCP-2136. You do not f the bodies in the water. You do not f the bodies in the water. You do not f the bodies in the water. SCP-1550. Dr. Wondertainment's custom pets. Okay, so if we put this Mighty Morphin egg in a pair of demonias, I'm at least 86% sure we'll get like a hot goth dom. Smash. SCP-054. Water Nymph. Remember when the internet got really creepy about Vaporeon and about how sticking it in a thing of water would feel really good like a jacuzzi jet? It would be like that, except it's a water woman, so you wouldn't be a sick, demented f for wanting to stick it in something that looks like a goddamn raccoon. SCP-999. So this thing is just a blob that radiates pure love energy. I think it might be able to morph and change shape too. I mean, is there even any question to this one? I'm about to make it jiggle jiggle and fold. Smash. SCP-811, Swamp Woman. This entity is definitely covered in and filled with some sort of amphibian-like slime. That's nature's lubrication. Call me Shrek, cause I'm about to make this my swamp. Smash.
No more! Where the f are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services.
SCP-3199, Humans Refuted. An amalgamation of genetic material mostly made of human and chicken DNA. Laying eggs to fill the entirety of your living space sounds pretty baby crazy to me. It's like someone who puts how many kids they want on Tinder. Creepy. Pass. SCP-426. I am a toaster. The eyeball man is so sexually attracted to toasters that I saw him take a bath with one. He would probably fuck me. Smash. He cried after. SCP-610. The flesh that hates. Getting a normal red itchy rash anywhere near my cock would already cause me to have a panic attack. This would be just willingly giving yourself a lethal STD. Pass. SCP-939, with many voices. If I closed my eyes and just stuck it in, and then just had them mimic a voice of someone who I'm really attracted to, I bet I could get it to work. But I would only do that if I'm really desperate. Pass. Not currently that desperate. SCP-2006, too spooky. An entity hell-bent on scaring humanity that doesn't really know what they're afraid of. If this creature really wants to understand what's truly terrifying, it need look no further than in between my crotch. Smash. SCP-336, Lilith. I don't care if the thighs have a bunch of scales on them. She's bad as hell. I'll kidnap a bunch of human males and make them listen to her voice and get a crap ton of SCP-3361 instances all together in one big bed to have a huge horrific orgy. Smash. But I'm still not a furry. Don't call me one in the comments or I'll kill you. SCP-079, Old AI. Even though the fact that it's so mean is great if you're into degradation, I feel like this would only work if I was in the metaverse. But then I would have to sign the form saying I'll admit all my deepest, darkest secrets and fetishes to Mark Zuckerberg. Pass. I don't want to end up as that man's smoked meats. SCP-4999. That one guy who comes and smokes a ciggy with lonely people while they're dying. I know lots of people who like cigarettes after sex, and in France they call an orgasm le petit mort, which means the little death. I don't know where I'm going with any of this. I just had a fact. Pass. SCP-002, the living room. I'm not really one for humping the hole in between couch cushions, nor am I into vor. Pass. Although for some weird fucker, this is the perfect combination. There really is someone for everyone. SCP-131, the iPods. These cute little buggers remind me way too much of my small blue friend Amoeba. Pass. This ain't Sweet Home Alabama. SCP-354, the red pool. I'm not really sure how one would coitus any sort of pond, much less a blood-red anomalous pond. I guess I could smash the various strange objects that emerge from it. Nah, that's like a supernatural glory hole. You never really know what you're getting. Pass. SCP-4960, a Bronze Age sex and fertility goddess of beauty. Apparently, this entity will just get really sad if you don't worship her body. I have no idea what to say. Usually, I have to scroll down, at least slightly in Google Images to find sexualized art depictions for the entity. Usually, I have to somewhat sexualize it for the sake of comedy, but this one is sincerely written for the sake of people to beat off to. Smash, I mean, she's described as really hot. SCP-871, the self-replacing cake. Somebody's gotta tell that cake farts lady that she has unlimited cake for her content creation. Now that I said that, a few of you sick fucks definitely just signed up to be the D class that has to eat it. Pass. I'm not gonna peg the thing that you're about to eat. SCP-3456, the Orcadian Horsemen. Basically a skinned horse with a human torso rising out of the center. The SCP Foundation actually stole this from Scottish folklore, so I feel like I would need the entirety of Scotland's consent, and I'm not gonna go to the effort to create a census to fuck a horse person I'm not even attracted to. Pass. SCP-016, sentient microorganism. The consequences for having this inside of you are grave for a human, but I can't really get those diseases. Pass. I just keep wondering whether or not it was in yet.
Ooh. Wow, the cringe is so strong, it's like a bump of coke.
SCP-5031, another murder monster. If you've heard this entry, it's kind of a misnomer towards the end, because the murder monster learns a love of cooking, and actually turns out to be pretty cool. Straight up wholesome. I bet it would cook for its date and actually have enough brain cells to talk, and both of those things are pretty rare nowadays, so smash. SCP-1609, the remains of a chair. I'm not gonna be sticking it inside a regular mulch pile, much less one that would attempt to annihilate me when I step within a 3-foot radius. Pass. SCP-055, the anti-meme. What is that? Never heard of it. SCP-055, the anti-meme. What is that? Never heard of it. SCP-055, the anti-meme. What is that? Never heard of it. SCP-1765, the Sisters. Sometimes these entities are depicted as looking like a fan service anime girl by all the monster f***s out there. Also, they're sadistic as hell, so would basically just be getting tortured by neckbeard fantasies. Smash. SCP-1048, the Builder Bear. I don't like stuffed animals like that. Not only that, it would turn me into ears and then disassemble me to make more teddy bears. Fun fact, once I met someone who was really into stuffed animals and only wanted to do anything on a pile of her stuffed animals, all of which she had names that she told me before. No shade, but that really took me out of it. Pass. SCP-3288, the Aristocrats. Cannibalistic subterranean humans that have been inbred to the point of a pug. These genetics are already so distorted beyond belief, and then putting amoebian DNA into that mix would be downright irresponsible. Smash, let's see what happens, like that time we gave all those squirrels peanuts tested with cocaine and they attacked everybody. SCP-835-JP. Someone in the comments recommended me this one, and honestly, I'm more scared of you than you are of me. The age can decrease or increase by 10 years. That's f***ing sus as hell. What do you take me for, mini lad? Pass. SCP-087, the infinite stairwell. I'm not really sure how I would do this to a stairwell. There's finishing on the stairs, but then you leave yourself liable to someone slipping and falling, and you'll catch a negligence-based injury and an SA charge all in one go. Pass. I can't go back to jail. SCP-847, the mannequin. Plastination is permanent and lethal for every human subject that comes in contact with this anomaly. Plastination is just like bruising for me. Goes away within 3 days. Just keep it off my neck and arms because people will see me and judge me. Smash. SCP-5699. Take care of yourself. Now this is gonna piss some people off, but just let me explain. Pass. This entity is coming over to comfort you. Don't just make them uncomfortable by trying to turn it into something else. SCP-500. The pill that can cure any disease. If I put it in my urethra, I wonder if it'll cure everything that's wrong with it, which is nothing, but don't check. Smash. SCP-031. The organism living in the ductworks of the Pyongyang Hotel. This tendrily flesh blob can emulate any living being. That's a big plus. However, I already have sneaky links with a lot of reality benders and bioshifters that don't require me to go to North Korea. Pass. Now I'm gonna ask Professor Lucius, who is definitely not tied up in the very same cell that the Foundation tried to put me in. Lucy buddy, I'm gonna show you a series of monsters, and you gotta pick one to do the segs with.
SCP-106? You want me to what?
Either f*** it or don't, man.
You sick, twisted, hang on. What's the first choice? The old man?
Is it you?
No, it's not me, and I take offense to this line of questioning. What would make you even think I would have any interest in a decaying, rotting, corrosive pile of meat? Never mind. I see your point.
I'll take that as a smash. It'll be in your room tonight. Next!
SCP-082. Ah, oui. Paris, the city of love. And cannibals? I must say, I'm starting to see a trend with your options. And to be frank, I'm a little insulted.
Look man, if you want to get some around the Foundation, you gotta lower your standards. A hole is a hole.
What would even make you think that cannibalism is something I would indulge in? Is it the eyes? The teeth? Some delusional, overweight and confused Frenchman is hardly my idea of a fun Friday night.
Not a roleplay guy? Fair enough. Next!
SCP-4666, the Yule Man. Despite what they'd have you believe, the Yule Man is very pleasant.
Are we referring to the same guy? It's the child murderer, not the cookie-eating fat guy from the Coke ads.
Did you know he doesn't like clothes?
I guess we are. Either that or you had a drunk uncle ruin Christmas for you.
You can imagine what all that frolicking around the snow does for him. Not exactly a wise choice, if you get my meaning. Nonetheless, he's always available, except for a few days around Christmas, when he gets his jollies elsewhere.
Okay, that's a 2/3 smash. You'd think I wouldn't have to force you at gunpoint. Or maybe that's just the cognito hazards. People say don't kink shame. I say kink shame everyone equally. You are all disgusting perverts that should be very ashamed, except for me because I'm just the one profiting off of it, not the one whacking off to it. Hey, you see what I just did to all these unknowable horrors that it takes an entire highly trained and skilled organization to contain? Yeah, they look pretty scary, right? What do you think I'd do to a human that didn't like, comment, and subscribe with all notifications enabled? I'd like to thank Professor Lucius for joining me completely out of his own free will to commit these atrocities to these monstrosities. You should go check out their SCP vids. I've been binging them. Shout out the inner circle. Love y'all.